Hi, you guys. Welcome back. My name is Carrie Penny. I am the Happy Crafty Homemaker, and welcome to show and tell number 105. So, got a lot done this week. Had a really good week and weekend so far. I am filming on Monday once again, so timing is going to be a little bit weird, I suppose. But yeah, over the weekend we went. Actually, last weekend we went ahead and subscribed to Disney Plus, mostly because I wanted to watch WandaVision and finish catching up on the MCU. So we had a junk food day Saturday while we were watching Marvel movies, and I have started watching WandaVision, which I'm pretty excited about. So yeah, that happened. I've also been working on an organization project for finally getting my pantry put together. So that's kind of consumed a little bit of my time. I love organizing. I hate cleaning, but I love sorting and organizing things. So I've actually really kind of been enjoying it. I did some things in the office the other day, and that just kind of accidentally bled into organizing the pantry for some reason. I'm not really sure why, but yes. So actually, after I get that done, I will pop in and probably show you guys what I did and the products that I'm using to organize it, and why I chose to actually buy products to organize it versus other options. But that's part of the homemaker part of Happy Crafty Homemaker. But yeah, I will definitely be sharing kind of what I did and where I got products and why I chose certain products. So that'll be coming up eventually. I'm almost done. I've gotten a lot done, but I had to wait on a couple of things to get here. I'm pretty excited. I don't know why having things like contained and sorted just bring me joy, but the way I do the yarn wall, Anyway, so I think that's really all that's been going on. I'm sticking with this standing filming thing for now. The table's set up and there's stuff on it, and I don't feel like cleaning it. So that's just easier to pop my phone up on the tripod up here. Also, it's a lot easier, I realize, to show you guys certain things when I'm in a standing position. So I might try to rearrange a little bit how I film so I can better show you guys stuff. I might have to figure out how to move my table over to the cake wall. That way it's not blocking the egress through the room, because I'm literally, it is set up in the middle of the floor over here. But it's been very handy to have the table set up, because I've also been slowly organizing the craft room. And I haven't gotten this far enough done yet to be able to share yet, though, either. So anyway, let's get on to what Carrie finished this week. I have lots of finished objects this week, and I'm quite pleased with myself with what I got done. I've also got a whole bunch of WIPs too, so I got my blocks done for this month's Murder Mystery Cal, hosted by T-Doddles. I am enjoying the book this month. Christy said she kind of previewed, as always with the variegated one, it's really hard to see the pattern, but I did use Impeccable for this one, and this is actually a Craft Smart yarn instead of just using the Red Heart this month. She said she pre-read part of the book to make sure it wasn't a dud like last month's book. Last month's book was very character one-dimensional. And then the resolution was so boom right at the end of the book. There's a joke on Family Guy where they're talking about Stephen King kind of has given up on writing books, and it's like, and all of a sudden a lamp monster comes in, and that's kind of how this book felt. Was a little bit like yeah. So this month is much better. It's in that cute vein, and you can kind of see where certain things are going already. And it's just, I'm about 40% through this month's book. I've been a little slow this month. So, got my blocks done. I am reading my book, which I'm really, really enjoying. As I continue to work on the standing setup, I'm going to work on stabilizing my table a little bit. So hopefully we won't have the wiggles as I go through my box like we're now. And I have been bringing everything down in a big IKEA laundry bin because there's been a lot of stuff I've been working on. I've been hauling down a lot of stuff every time I film. So I got 2 dishcloths done. This one is in Sugar and Cream Mod Green. And this one is Soft Blue. So they are pretty large. I just kind of, as part of, wanting to use up all my cotton yarns or all the cotton yarns I don't like. I'm slowly discovering there are certain dishcloth cottons I do like. So I am trying to get all the peaches and cream, sugar and cream out of my stash. I do like the Premier Home Cotton. That one is 15% polyester and the rest of it's cotton. I wouldn't say I love working with it, but as far as how it feels and whether or not it dries out my hands or it feels like I'm getting burrs on my fingers, that one doesn't bother me. So I am trying to get the sugar and cream out of my stash, but this pattern is really, really easy. It's literally working in a complete spiral. You can tell it just spirals out. And I'm using 3rd loop half double crochets on these. And the last row is just a straight row of single crochet. It doesn't quite round the shape out, but it does give it a slightly rounder shape. So I did use the entire skein for both of these. I'm not quite sure why the green one's so much smaller than the blue one. They both say that they are 70.5 or 75 grams. And they say they're the same yardage, but I got 2 extra rows on the blue compared to the green. So, and I used the exact same hook, made them both on the same day. So I'm not quite sure what happened with that. But, I mean, I do like big washcloths for certain things. So I figure, whatever. These I think are actually better for cleaning surfaces. I like using them for cleaning the bathrooms in particular. But that's 2 more balls of cotton out of my stash. Magic. Next up, this is actually my first finished object for the week. This is the crocheted beanie from this month's Yarn Yay. And I do think it's hilarious. So this is the, I can't remember the color name, but it's the DK Woolies from Lion Brand. And for some reason, the colors are just very Doctor Who-ish. And I think it's the purple combined with the gold and terracotta. But even in the cake, I just always see it and think this is Doctor Who. With the gray and the gold, to me, this is fall. But once you add that purple tone and red in there, it just, I don't know. But this is in between the small and the medium as written. Of course, my clip and everything is going to make it very bulbous there, but I like the way it turned out. The small was a shade too small and the large was just a shade too big. So if you got the Yarn Yay for this month, it might take a little fidgeting with. This is a little denser of a DK weight yarn than the Lorna's laces we got with the kit. So that could also have something to do with it. But I did use the hook recommendation. I didn't do a gauge swatch or anything. I figured I could fix it if I needed to. But it is just a basic increase. It starts at the top and works down. And I did add an extra row to the ribbing there. And that was actually more visual than necessary. I wanted to make sure that, because the first row of the ribbing you really can't see. So I wanted to make sure that you could really see that there was a ribbing there. So I did increase the ribbing just 1 row to make sure that that was an obvious transition. Plus, I mean, it did help with the orange being a little bit more there. But I think it's really cute. I think it's a really cute style. This one is dense enough you could put a palm or something like that in on the hat if you wanted to. So, another completed hat for the year. Next up. So, I really enjoyed this pattern. Once again, if there is a written pattern or I used a pattern for any of these finished objects, I will share the link. But I think this and the cowl are the only ones I used a pattern for. This is called the Witching Hour Shawl. And you can see it's a cluster, but not a granny cluster stitch. I really like this, and I actually pulled some very old yarn out of my stash to make a second one. This one will be donated or gifted most likely. This is using Red Heart Super Saver Ombre, and this is Spearmint, I believe. But I love the shape of this shawl. I like the way it worked up, and I did go ahead and wash this just so I could show you. This has just been washed and dried. This is why I say I don't like working with Super Saver, but I really don't mind the finished object. This is just washed and dried, not blocked, and now it's, you know, at first it kind of felt rough and stiff, and now it feels very soft and luscious. I just threw it through on a permanent press while I was doing laundry yesterday. I just tossed it in there. But I love how this turned out. I love this pattern. So super duper simple. Link will be in the description box down below. Speaking of the description box down below, if you did not catch my video on Tuesday, in the description box down below, you will see I have now added a Facebook group down there. I've had the first person find me organically. Hi, Susan. She's not one of the ones I personally invited, but I did invite a couple of people initially just to hopefully start populating the group before people realized, like, I wanted to make sure that the group worked. I had problems with that back many years ago, but I did want to make sure that the group worked. But there is a Facebook group down below. Please feel free to share your WIPs, your FOs, your purchases. This is a group for sharing happy stuff. As we progress as a group, we will probably have more rules that start occurring because, you know, larger groups of people, things happen. But as always, as with the rules with my channel here, be kind. That's all I ask, really. Be kind. I don't have a problem if you use naughty language, like that's whatever, but don't be a jerk to each other. That's all I ask. Just don't be a jerk. But on Tuesday, I announced my very first MOW. So pop on over to the Facebook group if you want to spook your spring and join us over there for our Halloween and May make-along. I'm very excited. I decided to do it in October of last year because I never, ever have time to do Halloween makes in the fall. It's like I can maybe squeeze out one. But I'm generally so busy trying to prepare for Thanksgiving and Christmas, by the time Halloween rolls around, I spend most of October doing other stuff. So we, instead of having Christmas in July, will be having Halloween in May. So 6 months of Halloween, you guys. Join us. If you don't want to participate in the make-along, that's perfectly fine. By the way, the make-along starts on May 1st. I'm so excited. It's going to run for the whole month of May. I'm normally not a make-along person. I'm very bad about maintaining participation in make-alongs, but I really wanted to have some fun to enjoy Halloween and spooky stuff. I mean, I watch horror movies year-round. I watch spooky shows year-round, so yes, feel free to participate in the group, even if you don't want to participate in the make-along. I'm pretty excited about it. Hopefully I'll do better at posting in my own group than I do other people's groups, because I'm really bad about failure to participate. It's just because I don't use social media that much. I get on Facebook for like 5 minutes a day. I check my notifications to see if anything's going on with my family, and that's it. That's also why my Facebook is generally made up of people I actually know. No offense to anybody that I haven't accepted a friend invite from, but if you if you could see my friends list, 97% of them are family members. So that's kind of one of those, that's kind of locked down for my personal, which is one of the reasons why I did want to have a Facebook group. That way we can share more openly in a social media setting. Sometimes it is kind of hard to share on Instagram. Anyway, a whole lot of nothing. I just said a whole lot of nothing, you guys. Anyway, my last finished object. I have not trimmed the ends, but I have washed this. This is my Granny Square Impeccable blanket that I started a couple weeks ago. This is using magenta, teal, lippy, and I can't remember the purple color name. And the black is just some Red Heart Super Saver that I had. Whee! And it's 3x4 squares. And I was estimating, you know, about 1 foot. This also, I just threw the whole thing in the washer and dryer. And it went from being super stiff and very unpleasant and kind of wonky to, it is more or less square. I did take this and the shawl straight out of the dryer when the thing went bing, and laid them out flat so they weren't wobbly. But I'm very happy with how this turned out. And I've already started another blanket using kind of the same color palette. I have a couple of different shades of purple that I'm throwing in there, a couple extra blues, another pink, and kind of working those in with the leftovers of what was in the Granny Square. So it took 1.5 skeins of the Impeccable of each of the 4 colors. And then I had a giant, like 10-ounce ball of Super Saver, and I didn't really use that much of that. So, and I did use Bella Coco's slip stitch join for the Granny Squares. I bordered them in singles and then used her slip stitch join to join the squares together. But yeah, it's been very productive. I am very pleased with myself at how productive this last week has been crafting. I got a lot of stuff done. I didn't do as well with my April goal of spring cleaning my UFOs. I still have a lot of UFOs to get through, but I did get 3 done. And I've made like a lot of stash busting progress. So I'm pretty excited about that. Yeah. So I started another shawl using one of those cotton cakes. This time I'm using the King Cotton Twirl, and it goes from a soft baby pink out to black. I started a star-shaped blanket using the Impeccable, and if I really like how that's turning out, I might keep that blanket for myself, because I kind of like the color palette. I love how this Granny Square one turned out. I love the way the colors, the jewel tones with the black turned out with that, so I might have to keep the other one for myself. Especially with how soft this washed up. I forgot how stiff Impeccable is to work with, but how soft it is once you wash it up. So let's see, what else did I do? I think that's, and I did start another witching hour shawl using Debbie Stoller Stitch Nation Alpaca Love. And if you guys have been around the block for a while, that was produced by Red Heart about the same time that Bernat and Karen were working with Vicki Hull for the Sheepish collection. It has been like discontinued since before my oldest grandchild was born, maybe even since before my stepson married their mom. It's been a long time. That was an amazing collection. That was one of those, I really wish they hadn't discontinued it kind of collections. There was Bamboo U, which was beautiful. I've shared with you guys my sidewalk shawl before that I used that for. There's Alpaca Love. There's, I can't remember the wool one, the one that's just straight wool. But yeah, I had 4 of a dusty aqua kind of color and then 3 of a gray. So I think what I'm going to do is do the top part in the blue, or it's it's between like seafoam and dusty aqua. Like it's a weird shade. It's not quite sea glass blue versus sea glass green, but it's kind of in between. So I think I'm going to do the center in that color and then do the outer edge in the gray. But I'm really looking forward to that. I've only got like this much of that done, and I only have about that much of the cotton twirl shawl done. And I've only got about this much of the star blanket done. So none of those were really worth like bringing down and sharing because they're not progressed enough to where they're worth looking at this point. So yeah, I feel under caffeinated, but I feel like I'm acting way over caffeinated this morning. So it's one of those days. I'm okay with that. Other than that, I hope you guys are having a fantastic day. As always, take care of yourselves. Know that I love you and I appreciate every single one of you guys. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, please leave those down below or free feel to email me, message me on Instagram, or pop over to the Facebook group. Either or, multiple ways to get in touch with me if you want to. You don't have to, but if you want to. Other than that, take care, you guys, and I will see you guys real soon. Bye, guys.